men feel disenfranchised. Men feel that they have been yanked out of who they are.
Okay.
I've never been taught to deal with my issues.
Okay.
Because when I go through something, whether I hit myself on a stone or on a corner, the moment I start to cry, I'm told, indoda ikhali. Men don't cry.
Don't hold back. Say it loud. What's up, everybody? My name is Nozibele Qamngana-Mayaba. Welcome to Don't Hold Back. This is where we say it loud. Our podcast is in collaboration with DW, Jacaranda FM, and East Coast Radio. Let's get into it. Are men in crisis? You know, as a boy mom, I've felt the responsibility that I'm not just raising Ulumingwana Pagade just for fun. I'm raising a man that is going to contribute to society, tomorrow. And that's a huge responsibility, one that scares me. Am I fit enough? Am I doing enough? Would it ever be enough? So that is a topic for today. Men and mental health. How do we raise our boys? Where do we get it wrong? You know, when I was growing up, looking at my brother, looking at just boys around, our neighborhood, looking at men just in general, they are taught to toughen up. They are taught not to show any weakness or any vulnerability. And that contributes towards, the man growing up and how they come to just be. So let's dive into it. I came across a very interesting stat the other day that I wanted to share. It says South Africa in 2022 ranked 10th on the list of countries with the most suicide. And 13,774 suicides were reported in that year. 10,861 of them were men. Today's guest is one of my faves. He already knows, so he shouldn't come here and act. He's an author, he's a poet, he's a dad to 3 boys, he's an HIV activist, one person that also inspired me in my activism. Please welcome in studio, Zola Tshayana. Why did you look surprised when I said that? Because you know. How many times have I reached out to you asking for advice? Welcome, my friend.
I'm important.
Oh my goodness. I knew I should not. You know what? I knew I should not have given you that introduction. Okay. You are one person that I know is very open about, this topic, men and mental health. You've written books. You have been in the forefront of these conversations on social media, in interviews that you've had. You've talked about broken homes, broken systems. I want to know, does that come from personal experience or just your observation generally around men and mental health?
Thanks, Nozi. For me, it's personal. I was diagnosed with mental health, or with depression, back in 2007.
Okay.
And this was after I tried to commit suicide, by the way.
Okay.
And I didn't accept that diagnosis. And then I tried to commit suicide again in 2016. And that's when I finally accepted that I'm living with depression. So it's personal, it's true personal experiences and also observations, and also working in the field that we're working in.
Yeah,
So you get to meet a lot of people that are going through a lot.
Yeah.
And also understanding what is caused or what causes our mental breakdown as people generally, but also as people living with HIV and as men. So it's a combination of things.
Let me go to the first suicide attempt when now you were diagnosed with depression. What triggered that? What got you to that point? I know. I'm going deep into it already. Yeah.
Yeah. But in all honesty, I had just started ARVs.
Okay.
And one of the pills that I was taking one of the side effects was suicide ideation and depression.
Okay.
So that was a side effect. So whatever had happened in my relationship back then was just the catalyst, to me having to go through that.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was treatment, basically, that had caused me to have that challenge of a depression. I'll also say, because my CD4 and my viral load then were low, my CD4 was low. So perhaps I was more prone to having, these side effects coming on board than I would be later on. So yeah, it was treatment that got me into that.
Can I dig a little bit deeper?
Ooh,
Because, I've listened to interviews, we've interacted for a long time. So there's a little bit of your story that I know, a little bit of your journey that I know.
Yeah.
I want to dig deeper because I know you grew up, or it was your grandmother that raised you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that you went through with your father having to acknowledge your existence and actually just your birth per se.
Yeah.
How do you feel having an absent father, influence the kind of man that you became? And what was your experience? And do you feel having had, if you would have had, a father growing up, would things have turned out differently?
As a man, I would have been more solid. I would have been more. You see, when you grow up without a father, there's an element of needing validation.
Yeah.
Now, here's one person who died. I never saw him. I never knew him. I never spoke to him, or so I think. And this person at times would live very close to each other.
Okay.
Yes.
So you knew about Nan's
No,
dad?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. I'm getting all these stories now.
Oh, after his passing.
Way after.
Okay.
That would sometimes pass by his house when we were going to where my mom rented.
Okay.
We would pass by where he worked in the Engangelizo police station. Growing up without him, it was not hard at first because I thought that my stepfather was my father. For the longest time.
Okay.
That's how much he loved me. That's how much he did things for me. But after I was told that he was not my father, then it kicked in that, okay, you don't have a father. You don't know your father. You don't have a father. And I became rebellious.
Okay.
I yearned for his love. I yearned for his attention. I yearned for his acknowledgement. Even if he were to just come once and say, I'm your father, I'm proud of you. Now, the one person who used to be a father, my grandfather, my uncles, and my stepfather, I now didn't see them as, fathers. I saw father figures in them, and that on its own created a lot of, when you're growing up as a young man, there's a lot of identity crisis that you have to go through. Remember, we take pride in our lineage and who we are. Hence, when we introduce ourselves, I'll say, Nozibele Tshayana, Ndingumvulane, meaning I am of the Mvulane clan.
Yeah.
And it's a bit challenging when you say Ndingumvulane ndizalwa ngumamvulane, which is the case with me. So, this is why you find us men, when we introduce ourselves, we say, Nozibele Tshayana. I'm of the Mvulane clan, Ndingumvulane. And ndizalwa ngumamvulane. Now, that becomes
already there's a question mark.
There's a question mark.
Yeah.
But when I say ndinguNozulu, ndizalwa ngumamvulane.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying I am of the Nozulu clan. My father is of the Nozulu clan. And my mom is from the Mvulane clan.
Yeah.
Now, that has no questions at all. So that identity crisis becomes a problem, especially around the ages of 12, 13, 14, 15, and manifests at 16.
Okay.
Because at 16, that's where you're trying to find yourself as a man. Your voice changes, your body changes. There's a lot of change that happens. And for us who are, achievers, At 16, I'm in matric. At 17, I go to tertiary. Now there's that transition. Also, there's the need to go to the mountain. It's a sense of pride for a boy child to go to the mountain, following his father's traditions and rituals. But now I will use my mother's side. And when people talk about you or talk to you, they always try to demean this thing of being of your mother's family.
Uzalelwe apha ekhaya wena basically.
Yeah. And up until you start understanding spirituality, where you now say, but I'm the one who is sure of his lineage, because I know that I'm from Isbeleko Salapekai. I'm from the womb Yalapekai. But when you're claiming, because you're told that your father is this one.
So what I'm basically getting is, at first, as growing up in those circumstances, it was an identity thing.
Yes.
It was an identity crisis.
Yes.
Of not realizing not realizing where you belong.
Yes. You don't feel belonging anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't belong in your mother's family because somebody also always keeps reminding you.
And you're also not claimed by your father.
So there's always someone, even if your family apparently doesn't do that, but someone else, whether it's in the community, is going to keep reminding you.
So am I right to say, because you were not, acknowledged by your mom's family and then never claimed by your father's family as well, you spent a lot of your time, I think you mentioned also earlier on, that seeking validation wherever you were.
If we can help our kids understand who they are.
Yeah.
And the who is not just your name.
Yeah.
It's your name and your surname. The importance of the surname is that it gives you your lineage.
Zola, I just mentioned interesting stats around suicides in South Africa, and the fact that South Africa is ranked number 10 on the list of countries with the most suicide. Why should there be urgency around men and mental health? Where do you feel we need to really focus on when it comes to men and mental health? And if I can be honest, for a long time, the conversation wasn't that urgent for me, because I always, and I feel like in society at large also, there's this narrative where, guys, everyone kind of struggles with mental health, and women in particular are juggling a lot of things. They have to be moms, they have to be wives, they have to be career women. Like, it's a lot, right? So, I mean, why should there be a particular focus on men and mental health? And there's always this comparison between the two genders. For you, why should there be an urgency around men and mental health?
Nozi, there's a lot that happened within a very short space of time. Transitioning from this patriarchal system where women stayed at home and raised kids and built homes, and men went to work, to a period where, because the system forced us, both men and women had to work, but women were working menial jobs like being maid and all that.
Yes.
And whilst we were still looking into that as we were growing up, where we saw our fathers being the breadwinners in our families, to the democratic dispensation that spoke of equality. And that equality meant women were now getting into positions of power, and becoming breadwinners. And all of this happens men feel disenfranchised. Men feel that they have been yanked out of who they are.
Okay.
Because remember, we grow up being told to provide. And now you are saying to me as a man, I cannot get the managerial position that I've been working towards because I am a man. A woman is going to get it. Now, the woman happens to be my wife or somebody else that I know, and they are earning more. And I'm sitting here. I don't know what else to do because now I cannot provide. And the provision that has been drilled into our heads at that time is to provide financially. Because we did not necessarily provide security because we were not there. Now I can provide financially. You are earning more than I do. I'm confused as a species now, as a man. I'm confused. What do I do? What else do I need to do?
Yeah.
Now, I was never taught what else is there for me to do.
Okay.
I was taught to provide physically, security, financially. I've never been taught to provide emotionally.
Okay.
I've never been taught to be there emotionally as a man. I've never been taught to be there physically, like psychologically. I've never been taught to deal with my issues.
Okay.
Because when I go through something, whether I hit myself on a stone or on a corner, the moment I start to cry, I'm told, indoda ayikhali. Men don't cry. Tigers don't cry. And the moment I start expressing how I feel, I'm told that I'm being a woman, being a sissy. So all these things, they create turmoil in me, you know, to an extent that now I don't know how to act. I don't know how to deal with emotions. I don't know how to deal with anything. Now here comes Nozi. Nozi is a graduate. Nozi travels the world, and I'm supposed to date Nozi. I date Nozi, and the only thing I can give to Nozi is money because emotionally I don't have anything else. I can't fulfill Nozi at that level because I was never nurtured to do that. I marry Unozi. Then Unozi still continues to get positions and opportunities. This side, there's no one who's trying to make me understand why are we doing all of this. You know, why are we elevating women into this position? We all understand that it is to redress, you know, past imbalances. But no one really sits down and tells me, how should I navigate this whole thing? I'm supposed to just see for myself. So all of that creates this instability and uncertainty in my mind. And men do not perform well under uncertain circumstances. Now, I have no outlets. Nozi, I can tell you now, if you are invited somewhere as a speaker and you have 5 speakers to choose, you can't go, you've got 5 speakers to choose. The first person that you're going to recommend is another woman, generally.
But wouldn't that be the case for men as well? The first person you're going to recommend is men?
With us, remember, with us, the opportunities are not there mostly.
Okay.
But also, at the back of our mind, much as we don't support each other as much as you think we do.
Okay.
I would rather, because there's the ego part, I'm going to recommend Nozi to go to company B. Or Zola to go to company B. And Zola speaks better than I do. And I don't get called again. So I would rather give that to Nozi.
I feel like it's the same on both. It's
but
definitely...
But what we see, or what we see as men is that women are supporting each other much more than we do.
Okay.
And also open doors for each other much more than we do as men. So all of this, you know, confusion and feeling disenfranchised and feeling of not being supported. It festers in our mind. And now we want to yank back the power. How do we do that? We know you are emotional beings. So if we attach, or we make sure that you get attached to us, and once you do that, we then alienate you from everybody else.
Yeah.
Your life must
revolve
around me. And then I become emotionally abusive to break you down. Remember, everyone else is building you. So I have to break you down so that you can then respect me, so that you can then be submissive. So I have to be emotionally abusive towards you. After that, I see that the emotional abuse is not working because Unozi has a strong character. And I cannot use financial abuse. What else is there for me to use?
Okay.
It's physical abuse.
Sure.
So if we want to change everything and how men are doing this, the urgency in ensuring that mental health for men is taken care of is something that each and every one of us should be putting forward. Because we need these men to be assured. We are very soft beings. Very, very tough on the outside, but soft inside. If there's no validation and assurance, we go haywire.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Because sometimes, okay, I take that. I take that to heart and I'm receiving it. But also at the same time, I'm like, at the same Zolas and I can't be counseling. Yeah, you understand? I'm like, can you please get yourself in counseling? Can you, if you see that there's a problem, I'll support you. But there needs to be some kind of initiation that comes from this person. Because I want to believe if it's going to be a thing where, guys, we need to take care, make sure, fragile. Yeah, understand? I feel like now we're also feeding into that narrative. Are we all in agreement that it needs someone to be self-aware that there's a problem?
Yes.
Because if it's going to come from Unozi to say, Zola, a problem, please go to counseling. That's going to be a problem.
I'll never go.
There you go.
You know why?
Yes.
Because I was never taught that counseling is a solution to anything that I've been taught that Inindi and Ikupa is a solution. Because that's how I was treated when I was growing up as a boy. I was beaten when I did anything wrong. But in most cases, a girl child would sometimes not be beaten as much as I do. And I went out to the community where being beaten was normal, you know? Even the punishment when we'd done something wrong as boys was to be taken to the headman's house and we get beaten. So the only thing that we've seen is violence. That's the only thing that we know is a solution. But now you are coming to me and saying, I must go for counseling. At my age, I've never gone for counseling for anything. Now I must go and lay myself bare. When for 40 years I've been taught to close, build a cocoon around myself. And now you're saying I must go and open this cocoon and tap into emotional things that are going to hurt me and make me feel pain. We don't deal with pain. We can't deal with pain. So you now want me to deal with pain? No, I can't. But also, you saying or directing me to go to counseling, you are saying I'm failing to be a man. Because everybody, when they talk, when a man says, when Zola says, I'm living with depression, I've been suicidal, and I am going to counseling. Women, imagine a man who goes for counseling. You are weak.
I guess where we agree is that we're here to support, not like just only women per se, just in general as a society. But that initiation and that self-awareness definitely needs to come from
it needs to come from me.
Please, thank you.
And this is why I come in as a man.
Yeah.
To say, chap,
yes,
you are looking at me You are seeing me as this groot man that you can look up to. But let me tell you what makes me to be me.
Yeah.
I go for counseling. I cry. I talk. You know? And at some stage, I was taken care of by a woman.
Yeah.
Because I was not working. So once we talk about those things as men, we are now saying
those conversations.
We are now saying to the next man, chap, it's not you alone. So one of the reasons why I talk about depression and I talk about going for counseling and I talk about my challenges is because I'm saying, guys, we are dying. Going back to your stats. You know, we have a challenge of depression or mental health in South Africa generally. And when you check the statistics, the number of women that are diagnosed with depression is very high.
Yeah.
Extremely high. Why? Because women, the moment they see there's something wrong, they seek help. Men, no. Now, because, Tina, we were taught violence, women can try, so many women will try to commit suicide, but they don't succeed. Because they are not as they go there maybe half-hearted, I don't know.
Okay.
They're not as brave as men, and they're not as violent as men. Men, when they try to commit suicide,
it's thought through.
It's thought through.
Yeah.
And it's something that is very brutal. Shooting, hanging, car accident. Like it's things that they know when a man plans to commit suicide. You should know if they fail, just like me. Something happened that made them at the last moment not to continue with it.
Let me tap into the question or rather your comment on you basically now normalizing these conversations because that's the only sort of influence that you can have on other men.
Yes.
But I'm so interested because sharing your story and showing that level of vulnerability that you have over the years. I've followed your story and you cover different, topics. You cover different things from your HIV story, growing up without a father, having to navigate mental health. And I love the art that you use because there's also humor into this thing. He came into studio. I need to mention this because I was like, okay. He came into studio and he said, yes, Nozi, over time, these ARVs have actually decreased my butt, the size of my butt. I was like, okay, there you go. But by the way, no one in studio but me knew Zola's story. So obviously I'm like, yeah, guys, welcome. Yeah, Zola, hello, right? There's a humor that you use to normalize these conversations. But I'm interested because I've also seen another side, of how people can react to these stories. Tell me about that, the other side where has it always been welcomed? You talking about these stories because it's stories that are frowned upon, it's stories that have not, people shy away from.
Look, I don't give anyone the chance not to welcome the story.
Okay, I know.
I'm a bully.
Yeah, okay.
When it comes to that.
There you go.
But I can tell you, Nozi, there are instances where people were not as receptive.
Yeah.
Because they felt that I was seeking attention by saying all these things. The humor, it's been my coping mechanism, Nozi. I will write a post that will be humorous. Sometimes because I don't have an answer. So I want people to openly engage. When a person is talking to you, laughing, you're able to engage them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I want to engage people. I want people to come to me and say, daughter, this is what is going on. But all in all, most of my stories have been much welcome.
Yeah.
I've had, in fact, my whole following has been based on the stories that I tell.
Yeah.
Okay, people say I give them hope. I don't know how.
You do.
No, see, I'm the most insane person you'll find.
Now we know that.
Okay.
But also at the same time, I mean, when I say you inspired my own journey, I was like, okay, I could do this. I could freely and show vulnerability without feeling some kind of way. Because I looked at how you shared your story.
My grandfather is the man who showed me how to be vulnerable.
Mm.
My grandfather cried when he was happy, he cried when he was sad. And he would make you know and feel that he is feeling like this right now.
Okay.
I seldom speak about my grandmother.
Mm.
That woman was the grounding force for all of us.
I feel like you had a nice combination of both worlds.
Yes.
The calmness, the nurture.
Yes.
Ne? And then also utamkhulu, where there was sweetness, but also being firm and kind of guiding you.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the emotional side of you, the vulnerability side of you come. You had the best of both worlds.
Yes, I had.
Listen, before we continue, I want us to play a short game. It's called rapid fire questions.
Ooh.
You're not thinking like too much about it. First thing that comes into your mind. Ne? Speaking about fathership or a fatherly figure that you have with regards to your grandfather, you're a dad. What are the 3 words you think your sons would use to describe you? Quick.
Strict. Laughter.
There you go.
In fact, I think, let's say braai meat.
Okay, there you go. One book you think every man should read.
The Alchemist.
Okay. The most underrated strength in a man.
Being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of your children, it's twins, right? Okay.
And I'm a twin as well, eh?
Oh, I actually heard that you're also a twin. Okay. Being a twin, a blessing or an identity crisis?
Identity crisis. Yeah.
Last question. Last time you laughed literally from the inside of your belly?
Today. I always do that.
The ARV story.
Yeah.
Well, that one was funny.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 more questions before we end off. The first being, we talk about your boys and the different personalities and what that they have. Granted the amount of work that you have done in the space, whether it's in the HIV advocacy or mental health, advocating for mental health, I think one of the things that is so important for me as I parent Ulumi, or just being a parent, we've gone through a lot and we are stealing from parts of our childhoods, right? And I always say, I think it will be a tragic that knowing what we know now, Ulumi have to heal from us. What kind of lessons do you want them to take from you, very specifically as boy children?
Being vulnerable is not a weakness, and taking care of others should be your priority. But that priority should not supersede taking care of yourself and your family.
I love that. Last question. I want you to look into that camera. That's your camera. Ne? There's a man out there that is struggling from what you said earlier on. I don't feel like I am cementing my place or I'm in my position of being a provider. There is a lot of pressure that has been put on me to be a man, to step up and be a man, and I feel like I'm failing. Or they're just going through a lot at this point in time. And they're struggling with vulnerability. They're struggling to express themselves. There is no outlet for them to do that. Speak to that person, speak to that man from a man's perspective.
Whew. Yeah. Okay. To my brothers out there, everyone, if there's one thing that you need to do, it is to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, but also understand that society, much as society has got its own things or own ways of doing things, you also need to have your own way of doing things. One, being a provider doesn't necessarily mean being a physical or financial provider. Supporting your partner emotionally and being there for them, that's provision. Providing a home when you are not working, your wife is working, and they come back home to find you have cooked, you have cleaned the house, that's provision. You are providing stability, you are providing emotional security, you are providing availability. Again, you need to start talking. There are outlets. We are making these outlets available. Find any man who you think has an ear to listen to you. Somebody out there is always ready to listen. Find that man. Talk. Go for counseling. Go to a psychologist. Go to a social worker. Go to a psychiatrist. Go and offload, because everything that we have been taught to do or to treat ourselves in a way needs to change. We are raising boy children. We do not want our boys to be as emotionally distant as we are. Please verbalize your love.
Yeah.
Verbalize your love. Tell the people that you love them, and tell them when you miss them. Do not let a day pass without you telling the people that you love that I love you. And when you miss them, you tell them that I miss you. And when it hurts, hey, daughter, kala. I cry.
Oh, no, I know you cry.
I cry.
Let's go to the snack. Biltong, what's the story in 2 sentences? Because I know you can go on. 2 sentences, what's the story behind the biltong?
This is my grandfather's favorite snack. So when you find me eating biltong, you should know. And I've given the love for biltong and amacheu to my son as well, my firstborn. For some reason, my firstborn is always the one not spoken about. And because they are twins. So, but if there's one person who is always...
Who understands your love for biltong and your grandfather.
And also wants to please me.
Oh.
He's not just a copy of me physically. Even in mannerisms, he is me in all ways and manners.
Okay, we're going to share the biltong. Can I have one piece? Because you know I'm on a diet. That was not a laughing matter.
Diet number?
That doesn't matter. Okay.
For this year? But it doesn't matter for real.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good. My friend, thank you so much for being here. I want to ask you one question in 1 sentence. 1 sentence. Okay? We've talked a lot today. When you look back how far you've come, in 1 sentence, what's the one thing that you would say to your 16-year-old self?
The world owes you nothing. Go out there, grab your dreams by the horns. You have what it takes to make it.
I couldn't have ended it off better than that. Okay? Takeaways for me today: vulnerability is not a weakness. It is actually a strength. To our men out there that are struggling, go and seek help. Go and seek help. I understand that it's going to take time to reprogram, basically, yourself in terms of what you've known for many years. But to get to a better place, we need to speak out, show vulnerability, seek help, and talk.
Just a second. Also, as men, I deliberately did it, blaming women for the challenges that we're having. As men, we need to take responsibility and ownership of our challenges.
There you go.
We need to make sure that if we are saying, here's a challenge, it's not external. It's our response to it.
Yep. Yakwazik.
I
know he's going to go on and on and on. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. It has been a real eye-opener. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please catch this episode and many others wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. This has been Don't Hold Back. This is where we say it loud, a podcast in collaboration with DW Chakaranda FM and East Coast Radio. My name is Nozibele Qamngana-Mayaba and I am out. Don't hold back. Say it loud.